ask you, where is Tar Heel? I've never heard of that. I thought I knew where every town in North Carolina was.
Tar Heel is about 25 miles east of Fayetteville and about 60 miles from the coast.
Okay.
It's no longer high school, it's now West Bladen,
Okay.
County, Bladen County.
All right, well,
It's just
25
a
miles
small-
is far enough from Fayetteville. I mean,
Yeah.
you try to get as far away as you possibly can.
And they had a little town office and they had these little tags you could put in front of cars at Tar Heel. And they couldn't keep enough of them, because every time anybody who went to Chapel Hill came through, they wanted one. And they had to keep ordering.
You play multiple sports, right?
Tried to. Oh, this applause I got, just like on Sunday morning when I go in the pulpit. Gene can tell you, he's one of them.
What drew you to athletics?
Well, it's hard to believe now since I'm a preacher, but when I was down in grades, I was a bully. You know? I mean, first, second, third grade, I mean, it was just playtime for me, in the room, outside the room. And one day in the third grade, I go out, and there's some of these fourth grade boys over there. They had a football, and I'd never seen a football. And I watched them, so I went to my room and play. And they said, okay. And so, first time, I didn't know the rules. First time I got my hands on the ball, I just run over as many of them as I could. I loved it, you know. So that's what drew me to football. Now, what drew me to baseball, my daddy, he was a minister also, you know, later on. But when he was young and, you know, raising a family, he played semi-pro baseball. And Mama would take us to the games. And Daddy and two of his brothers were on that team. And so naturally, I liked baseball. And so that's how I got, you know, involved in that.
Did you grow up, which community did you grow up in Alexander County?
I didn't grow up, well, I moved here when I was 14.
Right.
Okay, and so it was just, I don't know, it wasn't a community as such, it's just over here on the backside. You know where the cemetery is, you go up the hill and down the road there, that's about all. It's not very far from the box factory.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Role models, athletically or not, when you were a kid, did you admire somebody?
Yeah, one fellow who was my neighbor, Earl Yates. He was a big fellow. And he was a year older than me, and we would wrestle out in the yard. And we played 8th, 7th grade football together. He went on to Duke and was all conference, played for Washington Redskins. I didn't get that far. But anyway, but besides Earl, my Uncle Buddy, he was several years older than me, of course, and he played football for the old Rockingham Rockets. I don't know if you remember, it's now Richmond County.
Sure.
Anyway, so being my uncle, you know, even though I went to the Hamlet Elementary Schools, on Friday nights, you know, I didn't go see the Hamlet Red Rams. I went to Rockingham to see my Uncle Buddy play. Sure. And they won the state title in 1959, state 3A football title. But anyway, that's sort of who, you know, kind of like when I was young, you know, sort of I don't know if you call it hero worship or what, you know.
Right.
But that was it.
I'm interested in this. You spent years in public education, different places, and then you went into the ministry. And over the course of years following sports like I followed sports, that's happened a lot. And that interests me, how you can go from any kind of, well, athletics, education, you end up in the ministry.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, the best I can tell you, Rick, is God put a calling on me. And for 6 years, I wouldn't do it.
Really?
I kept staying with public education. And then I finally became principal of what used to be West Junior High, it's now West Middle.
Sure.
And my goal really was to be a superintendent of schools. didn't make it because I finally got so restless with this calling, I had to give it up and go to it. I mean, that's the best way I can say.
6 years?
Running from it for 6, yeah. I mean, what I call running from it.
The Lord was pretty persistent.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he leave me alone for a while. Then the next time he'd come after me, be a little stronger, you know. And so, as a matter of fact, Jennifer Heffner right here, she was a student of mine, West. She was in the 7th grade when at the end of that year I left and went on to seminary. And anyway, but you know, and I probably would not have been a coach. I was finishing at Pembroke University, and I had met this real pretty girl there. She followed me everywhere I went.
I know how that is.
What it was, my good friend had a red '63 Chevrolet convertible, and he would let me drive it. She thought it was mine. So, anyway, but after my senior year and her sophomore year, we got married that summer, and I had signed a contract to teach school in Robeson County, and a guy named Tommy Martin. Football coach. They were starting a football program at Pembroke Senior High. And so he went down to the county office. I didn't even know him. He went down to the county office going through the applications because he was looking for somebody helping him in football. And he came across my name as one of the applicants, and he talked the superintendent into hiring me at Pembroke on the condition that I would coach. So, you know, so I helped him coach. That's how I got into coaching. So, and while there, though, I met one of the most influential people in my life outside of ministry, and that was a guy named John W. Sampson, better known as Ned. Now, he's in the North Carolina Hall of Fame. You know, he was coach there on the staff. And Pembroke at that time was an all-Indian school. I was teaching an all-Indian school.
Absolutely.
Lumbee Indians.
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, one of the guys I coached, I'm still in contact with him. I don't know if these folks know. His name is Kelvin Sampson.
He's now the coach at the University of Houston.
Yeah.
As one of the best basketball teams in the nation.
Right. Taught him all he knows. I don't know it anymore.
What was your coaching style? Were you a rah-rah type of coach? Were you or not?
Pretty much. I mean,
You're a pretty fiery guy.
I was pretty aggressive. You know, and the guys, if they didn't, you know, I don't know. I tried to instill in them as instilled in me. You know, you got to be yourself, and you never quit. You keep working hard and stay after it. I remember one day, Victor L. He was one of my split ends, and if they made a penalty in practice, we'll say, I'd make them run.
Sure.
Well, Victor, a couple of times he got one of these crackback blocks, you know, and really a clip, and so I'd make him run, and I got so aggravated. I said, Victor, run. He said, how many laps, coach? I said, you run, I'll tell you to stop. Well, we got through practice about an hour later, and we went in the dressing room, and one of our managers came up, little Keith, with that. He said, Coach, Victor wants to know if he can quit running. I forgot him. And to this day, though, I think he still gives me credit because he became an All-America in cross country. Very college, and he became NAIA. And you know, I said, you know, I think I helped him. But anyway, but you know, just that coaching style, you know, in baseball, you know, I believe in taking chances. I watch baseball. I'm a Dodger fan. I get so mad with Dave Roberts, you know. As Gene was talking about, taking the pitchers out, you know. Anyway, but my style was very aggressive, you know. I didn't like the fun on fourth down. mean, you know, just, I believe my defense can hold them, of course, unless we were real, you know, that's pretty much it, so.
What's your favorite sport?
I guess it'd be to follow baseball,
Right.
to play is football, because I love.
Because you were a bully.
Yeah.
We learned that.
Yeah, and I go back to 1962, Rick Sherrill sitting out there. I don't, did David Elder ever get here tonight? Anybody know if David's here? We called him Hoss. David was Hoss. I was Big Daddy. That's what the grandkids call me, but anyway, but on that team in '62, we didn't have a lot of players, but we had some mean players, you know, I mean, I wasn't that mean compared to Rick Sherrill, I mean. And David, let me tell you something, David, we played under, well, we had a terrible tragedy that happened. One of our players died when I was a freshman. Johnny Johnson was a senior, and he died, you know, had a heat stroke, and died the next morning. It was on Friday afternoon in late August. And the first game was going to be the next week. And he died. And so everybody quit. You know, everybody quit, except Jack Barnes. And I don't know if y'all know Jack Barnes, but Scotty Barnes, his wife, she's got a big ministry. But anyway, they finally got us talking, enough of us talking and coming back. And we played the last 4 games. That was it. And we won one of them. But anyway, the next year, hardly anybody came out. We had about 18 players. He was a freshman that year. I was a sophomore. And we'd scrimmage half a line. We didn't have enough to scrimmage for. Anyway, and we got shellacked that year by everybody because we were like JVs playing a varsity schedule. And David Elder, best football player I ever played with, David Elder. One night we were up at Morganton. Mike Lackey was a great punter. He punted the ball dead on the 5-yard line. And so we were on defense. David is the end, and I'm the tackle there. And they did a cross block on David and myself. And one of their backs went 95 yards for a touchdown. And we go jogging up the field, line up for the extra point. We go by the coach, Vernon Morrison, and he called us up. David, come here, come here. He said, what are y'all doing out there? We said, trying to stop him. He said, what are you doing, trying to be cops? He said, you're waving them all by.
That's one of the great things I love about sports. Memories just like that.
Yeah.
Is that they stay with you forever.
One thing I want to clear up here, I don't know, probably my senior year, which we had a great team, great year. First game of the year, we played Will Central. They won the state title that year. We the only ones beat them.
Was that when Johnny Swafford was on the team? Was he on that team? Do you know?
John Swafford was, I believe he was a freshman. His older brother, though, Ken Swafford.
Okay.
Ken was, he became the singer, became known as, Oliver, yeah,
Oliver Swafford, sure.
Yeah, okay. He was, but anyway, first of the game, you know, we had the ball, and we had to punt. James Moose was our punt. I was the lone person back there in case somebody broke through. Well, about 4 broke through. And I began to try to figure out which one I'm going to try to take, you know. And all of a sudden, whack, the ball hits me. Now, everybody said it hit me in the tail. But I know where it hit me in my back. But anyway, it bounded down to the 3-yard line. We all turned around, run down there trying to get to it, you know. And so, somebody fell on the 3-yard line. And we held them. They did not score. Well, when we finally got in the dressing room at halftime, Coach Russell Cotton came up to me. And he said, Mick, you okay? Yeah. He said, okay, I was just concerned. Thought you might have had a concussion.
So saith the bully. It has been my pleasure, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you.